What is up? It is I, Adam, and in this video we're going to be chatting about, of course, socializing, meeting women, getting out to bars, clubs, maybe in the daytime, maybe in the nighttime. Just like here, you could be walking down this street right now, and perhaps you're just going about your night. Maybe you're going to do some shopping, grabbing a coffee, a bite to eat perhaps. And suddenly, a lovely lady walks down the street who happens to intrigue you. And it would be so nice if you could have a romantic date perhaps with this lady, or maybe something even more. But the problem is that maybe you don't believe that it's possible to do so, or you don't have the strategy or confidence in yourself to go up and make the attempt. Approach this lady. Make your intentions known. Maybe move things forward. Ask her on a date. Maybe a coffee. And one of the things is that when I was younger, I didn't have anybody to give me any kind of strategy or mindsets that would instill this kind of confidence or give me the idea that this was even something that was possible. Now, I remember from time to time, I would be out and there might be a girl that did intrigue me and that I was compelled to go and spark up a conversation. But she might say I have a boyfriend or she wasn't available. And I would tend to attribute this to something that was wrong with me. Maybe something that was some trait or attribute that I didn't possess, where maybe somebody else, she would have accepted these advances. I mean, hell, there was times when girls would blatantly, looking back, offer themselves to me in some sort of fashion, whether they came sit beside me on a bus or walked up to me with a friend and suggested maybe something fun to do with the two of them. But because at that time I didn't have the self-confidence or the realization that this was on me to capitalize on these opportunities, I let them pass. And now they're just a memory and not necessarily a regret, but at some point, maybe they could be a regret if you keep missing these opportunities and you go about your life, and then there's a time that's going to come when you don't even have the ability to make the attempt. You don't even have the ability to capitalize on these advances because you're going to be too old. And what a sad thing. What a sad thing to not know your advantages in life, or know the value that you present, or the possibilities that are available to you until it's too late. So if you're watching this video, if you're still alive, then it's never too late. It's never too late. Until you're dead. Then it's over. But until that time, it's never over. So there's still hope for you. And if you're watching this video, I want to just share some ideas and ways that you can actually arm yourself with some strategies, with some different mental tools that are going to help you to be able to take those opportunities when they present themselves and have the kinds of relationships or dating life or sex life that you would like to have for yourself. And it's not just for people that were born with certain attributes or talents or abilities. This is actually an area that you can cultivate for yourself. And right there, that's a belief that you can start taking on right now. You take on a new belief where you say, this is a skill. This is something that I can actually develop for myself. This is something that I can build. This is something I can take action on and take control of. And you aren't just born with it or without it. It's something that's developed, like anything else. Look at it kind of like a sport in a way, where if you want to develop a skill in a sport, you got to take mass amounts of repetition. You got to build muscle memory. You got to be consistent every single day. You got to be putting in the hours and putting in work to develop the skills in any field. Even if it's something mental, like learning, you can actually develop intelligence by reading, by studying, just as much as you can develop something that is physical by repeating something again and again, not being afraid to make mistakes, looking at those mistakes is how you learn, because it never ends. You're always going to miss the shot or make mistakes. That's part of the process. And if you're always pushing yourself to learn and grow, then you're always going to make mistakes. You're always going to fail. You're always going to fall short. But you're also going to improve, and you are going to get results as well. And the more that you practice and the more that you repeat the actions that are going to bring you that success, then the more frequently you are going to see results and make the shot, so to say. So the same thing when it comes to socializing, dating, meeting women. The more that you talk to women, the more that you socialize, the better that you get at it. Socializing is a skill. Same thing where you start to learn how to read facial cues. You start to read body language. You start to pick up on tonality of voice. This is something that is cultivated over time. Some people, maybe they were much more social at a younger age, and sometimes they have these advantages they didn't even realize. They had positive reinforcement from their parents. They had positive reinforcement from their friends. And this is something that perhaps came easier for them to the point where they never even thought about it. But if it was something that didn't come easy to you and that maybe you struggled with, like myself, I never knew that this was an area in my life that I could cultivate. But even something as simple as changing your belief to a growth mindset where you're no longer a victim and you think that you are at the effect of life, but changing that mentality to, I can take control of this area of my life by going out and being willing to fail, being willing to learn from others, like you're listening to this video, looking for help. Just like in boxing or any sport out there, they have coaches. They have people that they're learning from, that are passing down their experience and wisdom from decades or a lifetime of practice, so that you don't have to reinvent the wheel, so that you can just be told exactly what to do, and you're not starting from the beginning and having to go through all the trial and error. You get to start from a position now, building off of the shoulders of giants, as they might say. And then this way you can take it further than the people before you, because you're not having to relearn everything from scratch. So you want to look for mentors. You want to learn from others, learn from your peers, have friends to go out with and to do this together, to push yourselves, get out of your comfort zone, be willing to fail, be willing to possibly look silly, possibly look stupid, be embarrassed. This is all a part of getting better socially, because a lot of it is having to overcome a lot of your internal challenges, beliefs, limiting beliefs, insecurities. But not only that, the judgments of others, society, and the judgments that the cultural norms. You have to get outside of the box and be willing to risk your reputation. The thing is that is somewhat of a misnomer these days, because we live in a world with so many people that, first of all, not everyone's going to think highly of you, even if you think that they do. So you might think by by limiting yourself or not putting yourself out there that then you are keeping the reputation that you have, but it's all in your head. No matter what, when you go out there, some people are going to like you, some people are not going to like you. Some people are going to have an opinion of you that isn't favorable, and some people have maybe have no opinion of you, and some people will think highly of you. No matter what you do or who you are, not everyone is going to think highly of you. So if you think that by not putting yourself out there that you are then saving yourself from these judgments, you're not. But when you put yourself out there, you are then subjected to these judgments, and you have to face them. And that is a part of putting yourself out there. But first of all, if we stay on track, stay on topic, to get better at this area of your life, how do you get better at anything? Do the thing. So just start putting yourself out there. Drop the ego. Be willing to fail. Be willing to look stupid. Be willing to look silly. Be willing to feel embarrassed. And then just keep taking action, mass amounts of action. The more that you repeat these actions, the better that you get at it, like anything else. Start going and talking to people. Start going and asking for dates. Realize that rejection is normal, and that not every girl is going to be available. Not every girl is going to want to take things further with you, but that is a part of the process. You might have to talk to 100 people, 1,000 people. You don't know how many people you're going to have to talk to find that one girl that resonates with you and would like to take things further. And the more that you do this, the more you learn social skills, picking up on body language, facial cues, the better you get at putting yourself out there, expressing yourself, showing people your personality, not stifling yourself, getting over the environment. The more opportunities you take when they present themselves, the more frequently you are going to have these kinds of experiences. And at the most base level, if you were to just do this, well, now you're increasing your odds significantly. But then on top of that, there are strategies and techniques and better ways to approach this than others. And you will also and can learn those over time as well. So that's it. A lot of this is changing your beliefs, changing your thought process. It's more than just sleeping with women. It's also a great way to develop yourself and become more confident, learn about your likes, your dislikes, your insecurities, pushing through those. And what it will show you is that if you can take action and change this area of your life, then you're going to realize that you can take action and change any area of your life, or at least you will have that belief and be willing to try. Because at the end of the day, just being able to try, just being able to wake up on a daily basis and put yourself out there, or the pursuit, sometimes can be just as fulfilling as the actual result. However, the result, you don't necessarily have control over, but what you do have control over is your actions, whether you are willing to try, whether you are willing to put yourself out there. And the growth that you experience makes it sometimes worthwhile in and of itself. And I'm here on this journey with you as well. I'm out there. I get out there, say, 4 times a week. That's what I've set for myself. But even then, that's where I either am going to bars, I'm going to clubs. But then on the off days, when I'm out in the daytime and you see a girl that maybe intrigues you, that attracts you, that you would truly feel that it would be meaningful to have an experience with this kind of person, not just taking whatever you can get or feel like you have to take whatever that you can get, but instead taking control and deciding what you want and going after what you want, then I'll make the attempt there throughout the day. And that's what's so freeing, and why this is so awesome, is because now you don't have to live in regret. You don't have to see that woman that maybe you would love to make the attempt on and go present yourself and ask her on a date. And you don't do it because you're insecure. You have these limiting beliefs where you don't think that you're good enough, but you realize it's about your action and that there's nothing stopping you from going up and making the attempt. Nothing except yourself. See, people sometimes, they're a jailer of their own mind because of these societal pressures, cultural norms. Now, It's not even anybody physically stopping you, but it's yourself, because you think, I'm not good enough. No, who is good enough? This other guy? This other guy's good enough, but not me. That's dysfunctional. That's dysfunctional. That's not having self-love. That's not having self-confidence. And that's what you will begin to cultivate as you continue to do this. So I don't know where you're at when you're watching this. You might have never done an approach in your life. You may have been doing this for many years. But let's say that you are struggling and you've never done an approach. Start just noticing the hot chicks when you're out on a daily basis. Just start noticing them. Then from there, you might make the attempt. You might walk up and say, "Hi there, how are you doing today?" "Oh, that's great, lovely. You know what, I think you seem lovely. Let's, how about we grab a coffee sometime?" You just make the attempt. And at the most basic level, if you just open and go for the close, whether you ask for a coffee, whether you ask them on a date, whatever it might be, you are going to increase your odds significantly, and this is how you are eventually going to develop a abundant dating life or an abundant sex life, whatever it is that you would like to do for yourself. So I've got to get out of here, got to go to the gym. Just wanted to make this video quick and offer my support, offer some wisdom and some ideas and some concepts that I have been thinking about as of lately, which if you start going out, you will also be able to have these kinds of ideas come to you when you are going out, analyzing your nights out, analyzing your interactions after the fact, not when you're in it. And this is how you will also develop your social skills. The more work you put in, the more that you get out of it. So, as well, I offer 30-minute coaching calls. They're free, and basically on these things, I address your personal sticking points, challenges, and give you some strategies and support and some ways that you can get over these challenges that you might be having. And as well as I do in-field coaching as well, where I take you out to bars, I take you out to clubs, I demonstrate a method and a way in which that you can get results for yourself. And so if something like that intrigues you, then hit me up at datingdestruction@gmail.com, and we will talk about it and sort it out over there. And other than that, if you like the video, please like and subscribe, and I will continue to bring you more content like this, and hopefully help you on your journey so that you can get the results that you are looking for. And until next time, peace out, my friends.